Hey guys, it's James with Rambling Dasher, and today we are door dashing. So, haha, what's new, right? So today we're going to be riding around Central Arkansas, mainly in the Benton Bryant area, looking for opportunities to make a little money and opportunities to be so nice that people are willing to give up of extra dollars to give us extra tips for delivering their food. So that's the goal anyway, right? Also, I will be talking a little bit about some claims that I have made that turned out to not be so true in previous videos. So here's my recant video is coming up later today as well, so we'll talk more about that. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Also looking at starting a new trend where we take 2, maybe 3 questions of the day and address those every single day in these videos. So we'll just kind of see what happens, how that goes, and guess what, I didn't have time to do my homework today to come up with the 2 or 3 questions that we're going to look at. So we may wing it, or we may push that off to another day, but that's the goal anyway, to start doing that kind of stuff. So but yeah, one other thing that would be of great help is that if you start this, let it play all the way through. Even if you set it off to the side somewhere on a desktop or something, if you're not watching it, that's okay as well. Just let it play all the way through, because the YouTube algorithm looks at that and says, hey, people are watching this longer play video and they're letting it play all the way through. So that could encourage YouTube to allow it to be seen by other people. So yeah, hit the like, hit the subscribe, let it play. So I'd greatly appreciate that. So anyway, we have set this thing to accept orders, but it's a Wednesday, and I'm not getting any orders. So it's been going probably for 10 minutes now. I've driven around fast food row and all that stuff in Bryant, down Main Street, up Reynolds Road, and now I'm headed out west towards Alcoa. I'm gonna do a slow drive by Wingstop and Asian House and Whole Hog and Casa Mexicana and Sharks. And we are getting a little pop-up shower right now with a few big raindrops, but not a whole deluge. We may hit a deluge here before it's over with, but I knew it was going to be hit or miss today. It's supposed to rain around noon and it never did, or 1 o'clock and it never did. But we're getting some now. So, and here's Larry's Pizza, and we're not getting any orders. It could just be that it's a little early, and I don't know, I wonder if I should start putting off coming out here until a little later. My problem is that I don't know, I came out one time and only did 5 hours in a night and hit $100. So my goal is to hit $100. It just puts a lot of pressure on you to get it all done in 5 hours instead of 6 hours. But even a lot of times I never hit $100 in 6 hours. Or we like the other night on Monday night, I hit 101 and some change. And it took me 6 hours and 15 minutes or so. 6 hours and 20 minutes. So that was on top, that was some overtime on top of the 6 hours. Sorry, I'm eating some almonds today. So we are going to, so one thing I'll talk about is just, I always talk to, when I stop and see other dashers in restaurants, I always try to start up a little conversation with them, ask them how they got started, maybe why they got started. So I'm thinking about if I ever get the courage up enough to start that, then maybe start some kind of a channel that does that. So here is an order that is for McDonald's. I'm not sure which McDonald's it is, but it's hard to say. So I'm gonna hit accept, and then it's $6.75 for like 4.2 miles. It's the McDonald's at Alcoa. So we're gonna head up around the corner and go pick that up. I think I will cut, I don't know how, yeah, I probably don't want to do that. I'm gonna get over and turn on Alcoa and then go in the backside of McDonald's instead of going through Kroger parking lot, go on the freeway and come in the front side, just because I know that freeway access road will be people shooting off at that exit right there, coming like 60, 70 miles an hour. And I'm like trying to scoot out onto that access road and then turn directly into McDonald's. Ain't a pretty sight, especially with this little Honda Fit. It don't have a lot of takeoff speed. So yeah, we'll talk a little bit about my little, what I like to call the origin story. So basically I started out because my daughter came home from college like a year and a half ago at Christmas, and I'd been hounding her for about 4 weeks to go find a job before you get home, right? Go find a job. Yeah, she never found a job. She was home for like 6 weeks over the winter break, and she was like, well, I'll just go, and when she got here, she said, I'll go find a job. No, she didn't find a job. I really think when she goes in and applies, say, hey, I'm only going to be here for like 5 more weeks. Do you want to hire me? I don't know that she did that or not, but that would be, wouldn't put it past her. But anyway, so I was like, okay, well, you need to find a job. And so she just thought, well, I'll start DoorDashing, right? So she would go out here and there and DoorDash for a little while, and then not really make any money at all. So I told her the week before she left, I said, we'll do 3 nights, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And so we did that, and we made like $287 in 3 nights. And I was like, dude, I need to make this kind of money. Because I was kind of not in between jobs, because I had a full-time job, but 6 months before that, I had a full-time job and a contract job that paid me quite a bit of money. And then it turns out that both of those together made me a lot of money, right? For me, anyway. And then that contract job went away. And it turns out that I was like struggling to pay my bills with only the one job. So I was like, and another thing is that I really like to go on trips. So that's another thing. So anyway, so we started doing that kind of stuff. Or I started DoorDashing after that, and earning enough money to where I could pay off my bills and figure out how to go on nice for me, meaning interesting places, like DoorDash paid for, well, where did I go last year? So in the past year, since DoorDashing, I think I took my daughter and her friend and my son, and we did, I can't remember if it was last summer, maybe it wasn't last summer, maybe that was 2 years before I started door dashing. But anyway, since I started door dashing, I think we went on a Christmas vacation to Sedona, Arizona. We did a day or so in Phoenix. We went and saw the Grand Canyon, and we stayed a whole week. We just drove out there, but it took us a long time to drive, but we did that. And then my girlfriend and I, we just did a whole month in Portugal. So my other job, I work remote. So I worked basically out of the month we were there. It happened to be over Memorial Weekend, and then I took off the first week and the last week, and that left 3 weeks in the middle. And then we had one Monday off, and then I took another Friday. I took 2 Fridays off, so I worked I worked 3 4-day weeks. So that was pretty nice. So that's what I dash for. Right now I've got a trip booked already to go to Seattle. It's just a 3 or 4 day, well, a Thursday. We leave on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know when we come back. I think we come back on Sunday night, and it's a red-eye flight overnight, so we come back on Monday morning. So yeah, 4 or 5 days in Seattle, and then next year, May 20th or so, somewhere around that time frame, my son and I are going to go to Machu Picchu, so I'm really looking forward to that. But anyway, enough of that. I'm gonna hit this pause button so you won't miss a thing. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go pick up this McDonald's order. We'll see you in a minute. All right, so we have picked up that food. It was ready when I got in there, and we are headed back across the freeway, and it is doing some loud freaking thunder. So I gotta go through some loop-de-loops here to get on the other side. And yes, it is backed up coming out onto the access road. And some cloud to ground lightning. Come on, somebody turn into McDonald's here so I can sneak out. No one is turning. Gonna put the wedge on these people, make them slow down. So again, that's my little origin story. So we started out based upon me going out with my daughter for 3 nights in a row. And ever since then, I don't know about ever since then. My goals have fluctuated, the amount of money that I want to make, the number of nights that I work, and that kind of stuff change over time, just whatever. That's one good thing about it, is I like it because of the flexibility. And I like it because my job where I work now, is basically, hey, no one tells me what to do. Very rarely. Like I'm asking, hey, do you need me to prioritize this? Do you want me to do, whatever? And I don't get much direction, so it's somewhat frustrating in that regard. So what I do like about DoorDash is it just straight up tells me what to do and when to do it and where to go and what to do, and I don't have to ask, right? So there's sometimes that it's not so clear, it's frustrating, the customers do things, the app does things or whatever, but to me it's much simpler than doing the job that I currently have. So it is what it is. Not that the job that I have is hard, it's just I don't get hardly any direction. So I mean, just like the other day, there's this big conference coming up that we've been going to for years, and my boss asked if I've registered for it, and I was like, no, because you haven't told me to, or I was wanting to hear from you to see if you wanted me to go. And she goes, if you want to register, and I was like, I don't know. I still don't know what to do. Oh, she goes, well, you have to register before you can see what classes are available. And I was like, okay. So I don't know if she wants me to go or not. So I'm still just debating. And I sent her the last email I sent her. I said, well, I can't get in to see the classes until after the credit card receipt is paid for. And I'm not using my credit card. I mean, I don't mind using my credit card. I just don't like their expense policy. I don't like all the trouble it has to go through to get expenses paid. Plus, it's probably something I would get in trouble if I paid for it with my credit card and then asked for it to be reimbursed. Anyway, so I haven't pushed it. So we'll see what happens in the next few days. So anyway, so DoorDashing to me is pretty simple. Right now, my existing goal is to get $300 a week, and I'm trying to do that in 3 6-hour nights per week. Usually, well, it's floating. Like last week I ended up taking Thursday off. I was going to do Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. This week I have not decided, but I might just do another Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, take Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, because last Friday absolutely was horrible, but I only did it for 3 hours. And then I worked some on Saturday, and I did really good. I did like $80 in 4 hours on Saturday, which is good for around here. So a lot of times I'll have people either comment on my channel or on Facebook groups and things like that, saying, oh, well, I can do $300 or $400 in the same amount of time. And I'm like, well, that's great for you, but you ain't going to do that in this area, right? So this area is well saturated with drivers from out of the area. They come here to DoorDash because it's seemingly safer than it is in some other areas. We got some ducks here right in the middle of the street in this apartment complex. But yeah, so, but yeah, $300 a week, 3 nights a week, and then be off the rest. Now before I went on this last trip, I was doing 5 nights a week, and I would do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it was 6 hours, and then Tuesday, Thursday was short time, and try to hit $400 in a week. So that kind of stuff. So it just depends on where I'm at, but right now I'm comfortable spending more time at home, getting out there doing I gotta go around the outside of this apartment to the back. yeah, spending some more time at home and getting everything knocked out before the weekend. So it's pretty nice. So, all right, I'm gonna go deliver this food and we'll be right back. All right, guys, that was $6.75. That was our first order. 32 minutes. It's way too long. That was $2.75 base pay and a $4 tip. So much appreciated on that tip, and we'll keep going. One thing I do try to do in every dash is just kind of give you guys a heads up of where I am in regards to my status. It's at the beginning and at the end of a dash. One thing I do on these 6-hour windows is I do I don't really do half and half, but I do 2 episodes of the channel. The second one will be what we call dashing in the dark. But right now I am platinum, and I've been that way for a little while. And my overall stats right now, I'm at 75 on my acceptance rating, which is down considerably. And I also am looking at, I hadn't decided yet, but tonight might be the night. I think tonight is going to be, yeah, I'm just going to say tonight, until we're going to dash until we get 85% acceptance rate. So, which just sucks, because that means I am going to accept some lowball orders, and I don't really want to, but I have been selective the last few dashes, and potentially skipped over some orders. Not potentially, I did skip some lowball orders because I was trying to keep I just wanted to get better orders. That's all there is to it. So that's why we're here. But I do know that sometimes you get lowball orders even though you're platinum, and if you don't keep your platinum, you will get all lowball orders. So it took me 11 dashes to go from 0 dashes in the last 30 days to get to 100. And then I started getting better orders. Anyway, so my acceptance rate right now is 75. Our completion rate is 99. We are at on time is 82. And that was in the upper 60s when they revamped the on time thing, because it was not working a few weeks ago. So I was in the upper 60s and I got it up to 82. I just dropped to 4.99 on my ratings because I had somebody the other day gave me a 4-star instead of a 5-star. So don't know why, but it happens. Deliveries in the last 30 days, I have 176. And lifetime deliveries, I am at 2854. So we're on up there. This week so far, oh, there's a dadgum. I would normally drop this one, but I just made a statement that we're gonna build our AR up to 85. So we're gonna accept this $4.50 order from Chick-fil-A that is 7.6 freaking miles. So accept it, and I bet you anything it's going into Little Rock, and I will just have to pause my orders until I get back here because I don't want to take orders down there. So it is what it is. My earnings so far this week is, like I said, this is Wednesday, and we dashed on Monday, and we did 101.51, and I think I had like maybe $3 worth of cash tips the other day. I did a couple of cash orders, and I can't remember. They were so insignificant, the tips, because they were like, hey, just, you know, it was like $38 and some change, and they gave me 40 bucks and said keep the change. I was like, oh, thanks for that $1 tip, you know. So yeah, so I had a couple of those lowball cash tips the other day. Fortunately, the base pay on them was acceptable enough to where it was really worth my while. So I do think that maybe DoorDash is stepping it up in that regard a little bit lately, on those cash orders, and sometimes on base pay. Not every time on base pay, especially when they stack the orders. They definitely screw you on base pay, but that's a different story. All right, I'm gonna run into Chick-fil-A and we'll be right back. All right, guys, we have picked up this order, and we get to go back to Benton, and it's mostly freeway miles, so it shouldn't be that bad. I just have to get on the other side of the freeway. I was thinking it was going into Little Rock. All right, so one of the things that I brought up whenever this has got 7 miles, 10 minutes, so it gives us a little bit of room to chit chat. So one thing that I've predominantly said this whole time I've been door dashing and doing this channel, not the whole time, I just started this DoorDash channel probably in March or April. But one thing I do like to talk about is personal finance, especially for young people, to get people started early. And I've said all along, let's start with something like $25 a week and start from there. And early on, I was just doing ChatGPT or the Gemini app or Gemini AI through Google. And it would, I would plug in and say something like, hey, give me $25 a week invested into, or give me, I said, show me $25 a week invested for 40 years at 8% return. And it would come up with $1.1 million. And so I've been saying that on these channels for a long time. And obviously nobody's watching it that would ever do the math, right? And now when I go in and do the same thing, because sometimes what I do is I'll do it right on the phone with ChatGPT so you can hear it, and then it keeps coming up with like $300 and something thousand. I'm like, what's the deal? So I went on to and so I put a video out that was titled, can $25 a week lead to $1 million a year, or something like that? Or not $1 million a year, but $1 million. Well, I think the answer is probably no. Not unless you have a lot more than 40 years. Anyway, so everything, then I go in and plug in different financial calculators for savings, for retirement, for whatever. And then it takes into account inflation, or it doesn't. You can turn that off, and all kinds of variables. But any which way, so everything I'm looking at is anywhere between $300,000 and $400,000. You know, it depends on the particular app that you're using. Some of them allow you to say, hey, I'm going to put in the amount of money at the beginning of the month or at the end of the month, or I'm going to put it in at the beginning of the year or end of the year. You know, so different things like that. Ultimately, my goal is to have people put money back and not be where I am at this time in my life, right? So I was never in a position, or thought I was never in a position, because I didn't have any self-discipline. And I'm just going to flat out encourage you to have a little self-discipline to put back $25 a week, okay? If you're a DoorDasher, you can afford it. Work 2 extra hours. DoorDash whatever it takes to meet your goals, and then work 2 extra hours and get that $25 and take that $25 and put it back into like a Roth IRA, and let it grow tax-free in a Roth IRA, right? That's $1,300 a year. Not very much money. If you sit back and you think about $25 a week, you will not miss it. I promise you. Had I said someone tell me that when I was a kid, then I would have a lot better. I'd be better off than I am today. Obviously, the older you get, the better you typically are in able to save money and save more money. You might take a job that offers a 401k, or you might be smart enough to have if you're self-employed, that you get a 401k of some sort and you put money back. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that, even if $25 a week will not get you to $1 million. So that's my retraction over all the times that I've said that $25 a week will get you $1 million. It really is going to get you about $300,000 to $400,000 over a 40-year window. So my hope is that $300,000, $400,000 is still very, very, very attractive to someone that over a 40-year period you only put in $52,000, right? Because that's $1,300 a year times 40 years is $52,000. So take advantage of compounding and reinvest the dividends. Just let that money sit in there and grow, okay? So that's a key thing. Make sure you turn it on to say let the dividends reinvest. So every time it produces dividends, that's just earnings that the companies that you're invested in pay to you, and you take that money and you buy more shares. So if you do something like SPY or VOO, are both index funds based upon the S&P 500. Their expenses are really low, and the S&P is averaged, I think, maybe 10.4% for the last 40 plus years. So even if we get 8% over the next 40 years, we're still doing awesome compared to the savings rate right now. So like my personal bank pays me 0.05%. Which is nothing, right? It's not worth it's it's better than zero, but not much. So I do savings in a savings account where it's easy to access and I don't have to sell anything. It still takes me about 2 to 3 days to move the money over to a different bank, but I have an online savings account through Ally. So there's links down below in my link tree. If you notice a link in the description, it's one-stop shop to all things the Rambling Dasher. So there's a Robinhood link where you can go and buy individual stocks in there, and that's where I would use to open a Roth IRA and put in $25 a week. So yeah, those things I think over time are going to be very beneficial for you. Even if you're older, it's not too late, right? I personally just started a Roth IRA this year because I did not fully understand, or I had forgotten that one of the benefits to the Roth is the tax-free earnings. But the other benefit is that any money you put in there, you can always pull back out. Now, I say that it could lose value, right? So therefore, but any money you put in there, if you put principal in, then you can pull that principal out. And any earnings that it has, you have to leave in there until you're 59 and a half. Now, there are some ways that you can take it early, and so you can do a little research into that. I can't remember exactly what they call it, some kind of, I forgot. But anyway, there is like a policy where you can take money out before you turn 59 and a half, but you have to take out a set amount every year for like 7 or 10 years. So anyway, and there may be some other instances where you can take the money out, but taking it out also, I think the penalty for early withdrawal on a Roth IRA is 10%. So, you know, it's like paying if you're in a 10% tax bracket, you pay taxes on it, right? You pay the penalty. But obviously we don't want to pay 10%. We want to take it out for free after we're 59 and a half, or we set up that recurring withdrawals over that X number of year time frame before we turn 59 and a half. But anyway, the last thing you want to do is turn 59 and a half, and I don't know which house this belongs to. Okay. All right. So anyway, that is my little redaction. So from now on, I will not be telling people you can make $1 million by putting $25 a week in. You can make $300,000, which is still pretty nice. So I want to encourage you to do that. So anyway, if you need any help, open an account. There's a link to, so if you open an account with Robinhood, there's a link down below. So feel free to look in that, or if you have any questions, put it in the comments. I'll be happy to help whoever I can. All right, I'm gonna go deliver this food. We'll be right back. All right, so that was very nice of them. They came out and asked me a bunch of questions because they never used DoorDash before, and they didn't know if they should tip cash or through the app. And I said, it doesn't really matter to me. And they had read online all this stuff that's saying if you don't put a tip on there, people might not accept the order. So I showed him, this is what I got paid, $4.50 for the DoorDash, and then whatever they tipped me. So that was very nice. So they gave me $8 tip, so $4.50 from that and $8. So sometimes it does pay to take lowball orders, especially when your AR is down, right? So it's kind of like I did see online the other day about people complaining about low orders, and then other people jumping on there and say, well, I don't ever pay tips online. I've always pay tips in cash, so you're the one that's missing out. So, you know, it's just one of those things. So I do use a I can't find it now. I use an app to track all of my expenses and income. So this, because it was cash, I'm going to go into, it's an app called Simplify. I do have to pay for it, but it's pretty simple. I'm doing it right now. I'm clicking transactions. I hit plus. I'm saying the name. All my cash comes through. I just put it through DoorDash as the payee name. I don't come up with fake customer names. And it was plus $8, and it's going into my cash account and categorized as DoorDash income, and create. So it creates that transaction in there for me, and then that way I can go back and see at the end of the month how much money did I make from DoorDash on any given month, and see if it fluctuates up and down, and that will include the cash tips that I take. So that was very nice of them. That was a good experience anyway to and I don't know, he probably had a 12-year-old daughter give me the tip and all that, so explaining to her how it worked and that kind of stuff was pretty nice. But yeah, I just told him that I didn't really care if I got a tip online or cash tip. It doesn't matter. You know, and thinking about it now, most people don't keep cash around, right? Most people don't keep cash around. So now prior to this last legislation, then the less tip money you can show online, the better, because you had to pay taxes on tips. So any cash tips you might hide under the table. But after this last legislation, there's no cash on tips up to $25,000. Well, guess what? I'm not making $25,000 in tips anytime. So, so anyway. Alright, so we are now down in Benton area, and we're going to jump out in front of this car, but they're turning anyway, so good. So yeah, we're still in the delivery area. I think this is recording. Yes, it is. So that was, yeah, I like people like that ask questions and explain things. So an $8 tip puts me up to that was $11.25, and now I'm up to whatever, $19.25, and right at an hour. So that's not bad. $8 tip helps you every single time, I promise. Alright, so I do like, just a little background. At one time in a former life, I was a financial advisor for both Edward Jones and Raymond James. What I found out about those jobs is it was a 100% sales job, and if you didn't make enough sales, then you didn't eat. And I was tired of going hungry, but I still loved the job and dealing with the money. Dealing with the different investment vehicles and things like that, and meeting interesting people. It was just that for whatever reason, when I was in my 30s, I did not look like I was in my 30s, and people were unwilling to just hand over their money to me to manage for them as far as their retirement and things like that. So it was tough. It was a tough gig for me. I had another guy that I was working with, and he would just basically walk in the door and they would sign everything over to him, and I'm like, how do you do this, dude? I don't know. I did not have it, and still don't, but you know, we try. But I'm like, that job right there, I probably love more than any other job out there. I do have a little bit of a passion for it, especially for younger people to start early. So that's why you know, not that every DoorDasher is a young person, but every person that is young that's DoorDashing that might see these videos, I highly recommend you start with something weekly, something like $25. If you got more, put a little more in there every week. Once you get it started and you do it consistently, you will not miss that money at all, and you will be in such a better place when you get older. So a couple other little things I recommend is also save up 1 month worth of expenses. So figure out how much does it cost you to live for a month, and save that money and set it aside. Once you get 1 month, save 2 months. Once you get 2 months, save 3 months. That way, if anything happens to you, maybe you get injured and you can't work. You know, if you're a DoorDasher and you wreck your car, what are you going to do? How are you going to pay your bills, right? So save up that money so that you'll have a rainy day fund. I would recommend having 3 months in a savings account and having it in an offline savings account, or not offline, but a online savings account, so that money's a little bit harder to get because it takes you 2 to 3 days to transfer it back to your regular bank, but it also pays a lot more. So like right now I'm using Ally, and there's a link down below for Ally if you want to use them or not. I don't care, but I think not all of the links that I provided you I get a little kickback from to help me out with things, but that's not why they're there. They're there to help you, because I would encourage everyone to have an emergency fund. I would encourage everyone to have a retirement fund. So look at all this new pavement in downtown Benton. I got a lot of cars down here. I don't know what's going on a Wednesday night. There's a pool hall right over there, but they don't seem to be having a lot going on there. But anyway, so yeah, I would do that. Save an emergency fund, start a retirement fund, start funding it, $25 a week, as much as you can. The Roth IRA, here, I'll just do a chat GPT real quick. It may get interrupted by DoorDash, but okay, Google. What are the core benefits of a Roth IRA?
A Roth IRA offers tax-free growth and withdrawals in retirement, as contributions are made with after-tax dollars. It also allows for penalty-free withdrawal of contributions at any time and has no required minimum distributions for the original owner.
So that's a beautiful thing. So if you grew, if you put money in there and it grew, like I can tell you that I don't know how much money I have in mine right now, and not in my Roth, but so for years I was putting money into, okay, hold on, I got a $6.75 plus order, which means it's going to be higher. Total will be higher, only 2.5 miles, and it's to Yum Yum, which is where I just happened to drive around this way so that I might get a Yum Yum order. So that's where I'm at. So I had for years been doing money into an individual account that's not for retirement, and off and on I go in and say I'm going to do $100 a week into SPY, which is the index for the S&P 500, and that thing, let's see, I'll tell you, I don't mind telling you how much I have in it right now. I put $100 a week in, and most of it was put in when I had those 2 jobs and I can afford to put a lot of extra money back. But yeah, it's up to $22,000 in market value today, but it has grown 6,800, so almost 7,000 of it is growth. So that means that I only put in about $14,000, right? So I put in 14,000, it grew 7,000. I put in 15, it's at, well, yeah, 15, it's up to 22. So I put in 15,000, it's up to 22,000. So, but that means I got $6,800 in taxable income. When I sell it, that goes as income against my taxes that year, right? Well, if I did it in a Roth IRA, then it would have been tax-free earnings, so I could take it out without any taxable event. So now with my age, the older I get, I want more money to be tax-free because I don't want to pay taxes on it in the future. So anyway, I want to go run and grab this food, and we will be right back. Yeah. All right, guys. So this one says 2.1 miles, 7 minutes. It looks like it's going back that way. So, all right, we're gonna go. So here's the deal. is it's starting to get to be dinner time, and I have a whole snack box full of chicken and cheese and carrots and stuff, apples, and I don't know what else is down there. Maybe some craisins, pepperoni. Interesting, turkey pepperoni. So I'm gonna hit pause. We'll be right back, and as soon as we drop this off, and we'll tell you what happened. See you in a minute. All right, so that was one of those, like, I don't know what you would call it, like, whenever it shows the plus sign and you never know how much the order's going to actually be, you just know that there's a plus sign on it, right? That little dog is barking up a storm. Anyway, so it was $6.75 plus, and then you get to the end and you drop off the order, take the picture and all that fun stuff, and it shows $7. So the plus was an extra 25 cents. So the order itself was $2. It had a $5 tip, so still, I appreciate it. But I don't know how they do that with the plus sign, or why they even do it. It's frustrating in that regard. Can they change the tip to be something more? I don't know, or something less. Maybe not less, but I don't know how they do it or why they do it. So anyway, all right guys, I'm gonna continue with my little snack dinner thing here, and I will catch you guys when I get my next order. So we'll see you in a minute. Thanks. All right guys, we accepted a small order from Yum Yums, and I've already picked it up, sending them a message. Oops. I don't know what I did there, but and directions. Where is this taking? Oh, it's taking me. I don't mind doing that, but it's kind of, the GPS on here is acting weird tonight, taking me all over the place and trying to like take me longer ways to get to places I'm going. So yeah, I don't know, this was like maybe just $4.50 or something, for like 2 or 3 miles. So it was probably 3.3 miles, I think, and now it's 2.8. So all right, I'm gonna continue eating my snacks, and we will catch you after the delivery. All right guys, we just picked up another order. We're up to 2405 in about 1 hour and 45 minutes. So, and the $8 tips, which puts us at about $32. So, all right, still eating, and evidently I'm breathing heavy because I just went up some stairs. So anyway, I am gonna head. I just took another order for like $7.50 at Chepe's, so we're gonna head to Chepe's. We are only about 4 minutes away from there, so we'll catch you on the other side of Chepe's. All right guys, we have picked this food up, and we are 2.3 miles away in 5 minutes. So let's see where. I gotta go down, across the freeway, and then go back. seems like, I know it's probably not getting hotter out there, but it feels freaking hot. Come on, people, stay in one side of the street. You don't gotta take up the whole middle. So, don't know about it, but I am sending messages and getting replies. And usually when you get replies to your messages, it increases the odds of getting an additional tip. So I try to cover this every once in a while, so this will be one of my tips for the night for DoorDashers is if you want to increase your tips, one of the things you can do is send messages to the customer. So I do 3 messages and 3 memes. So when I get to the restaurant, I send them a message and I personalize it with both the client's name or the customer's name and the name of the restaurant. So like this one, I don't know, this one was at a place called Chepe's. So I said, hey, and the customer's first name, whatever, Darren, right? Hey, Darren, Chepe's. So I type in, hey, Darren, exclamation, space, Chepe's, and then I go to paste my clipboard. I go to my clipboard, and then I have 3 clipboards in there saved that are pinned, and one of them says, is working on your order. Please let me know if there's anything else I can do to make your experience even better. Period. Something simple, genuine, and hopefully something that they will look at and like, oh, this dude means business, right? So, and then I follow it up with some goofy meme, right? Typically, my 2 go-tos, the one I do for men has a Jim from The Office looking through the blinds into the conference room. If you watch The Office at all, you know what I'm talking about. And it just simply says, me waiting on the restaurant for your food, you know, so something cheesy like that. The other one that I usually send to women is from Friends, and it's I think it has 3 people from Friends sitting at the couch in the Central Perk. If you've seen Friends, you know what I'm talking about. And they're all just looking up, like they're looking up in anticipation of their order being handed to them, right? So, and it says, me at the restaurant waiting on your order. So those 2 right there kind of get the ball rolling. And if people respond to those, usually it's like, haha, funny, thanks, you know, thanks for the update, whatever, stuff like that. So that's always a good sign. The second notification I send out is after I get the food packed into the car, and then I immediately send a note to them, say, hey, I've got your food and I'm headed your way. So I have that taped or pinned to my clipboard as well, so I don't have to type all that stuff out. I just go in clipboard and click on it, and it drops it in, and I hit the send button. So simple, easy. Then I have a myriad of different memes that say on the way with your food. Some of them are they're all just from different movies. I got one from Jack Sparrow, the pirate movies, whatever that's called, Pirates of the Caribbean. I've got one from, oh heck, I can't think of the name of the movie. Hold on here. This might be a big house right here. It's not telling me. 116. Nope, I've passed the house. So I gotta go backing up. Or it's way down that driveway. I don't know. Alright. There it is. 1:16. I don't see anybody coming. So the second one, several different memes that just basically say, hey, I'm on the way with your food. And then the third one is what I'm fixing to send right now, is I'm going to click messages and I'm going to say, dropping off the food now, thank you, enjoy. And then I also have a meme that shows like, it says, knock, 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 who's there? No fear, DoorDash is here. So it's just kind of cheesy, but it just lets them know that, hey, I'm communicating to them what's happening with their order. So those little things, those little details increase the amount of potential tips that you can get, or the fact that you'll get an extra tip at all. So I'm gonna go deliver this and we'll see what happens. All right, so that one puts us up to $31.55 plus $8 is 39, so almost 40 bucks. That was a $2.50 delivery with a $5 tip. They did say one last thing, so I'm gonna go back to here. Thank you, and I'm gonna send them my best Chick-fil-A response. My pleasure, and be done with them. So as of right now, they have not sent another tip, so, but that's all right. All right, guys, I am evidently talking too much and not eating my dinner, so I'm gonna pause this out, see if we can't get some more orders, and maybe we'll talk about some more ways to increase your chances to get tips. So, all right, I will catch you in a minute when we get another order. Thanks. All right, guys, we are 1.5 miles away, 4 minutes, and this person has replied to both of my messages. Obviously, we learned from the last customer that that doesn't imply that we're guaranteed additional tip, but we still try, right? Shoot for the stars. Now I just got to get through this traffic, and there's cars backed up here to even get to the turn. And this is usually a horrible place to come out right here because, one, the sun is bright. Two, there's just plenty of cars coming both ways around a curve both ways, so you can't really see if anybody's coming. You can, but it's just, if you look down this way and then you look back this way and then you look back this way, and then there's more cars coming by the time you get back around to going. And there's just a crap load of cars coming flying through here. Okay, we might have a break. Okay. Alright, so 1.4 miles and on our way. So, in 4 minutes, I doubt I can do it, but in 4 minutes, 2 other quick ways that you can increase your odds to get tips for yourself. Additional tips in and above and beyond what you've already been offered that you accepted, right? So the first one, well, I've already told you one, is communication to the consumer, to the customer, and it increases your odds even more when they reply to that communication. So the second thing is keep the food warm. So if it's warm anyway, put the food in the bags, right? If you got pizza bags, if you got warming bags, whatever it is, put the food in the bags. Don't just throw it in the front seat. I'm not a big fan of stopping, like I don't like going to Sonic because they only give it through the window, and then I can't get to the bags, and I always put the food in the back seat. I never put it in the front seat unless it's like Sonic and I don't have room to get out and put it in the back seat. So anyway, keep the food warm. They will appreciate you for it. And the next one, so really that's the first one is communicate, 2 is keep the food warm, number 3, get the food there. You know, so one thing that can hurt your chances is double dipping. When DoorDash stacks your orders, inevitably you never have time to get both orders on time. Or the customer doesn't perceive that it's on time. And on top of that, the customer sees your movement. So I always just, you know, if the customer calls and said, are you going somewhere else? You know, whatever. I was like, yeah, they've got me double stacked. I've got your food in a warming bag, and we're headed your way, whatever, you know, something like that. So try to make sure that, number one, if you're communicating with them, then you're communicating with them. But number 2, if they ever do reply about the delivery, because they can see that you're not going to their house, right? So just kind of let them know. If they ever do, just say, hey, yeah, DoorDash, me personally, I always blame it on DoorDash. I say, yeah, DoorDash double stacked me, and I got to drop this one order off. Your order is in the warming bag in the back seat. So, you know, just be honest with them as far as that goes, and let them know you're headed that way. So anyway, those are my 3 big things to try to get additional tips on a regular basis, and I do that every day, and every time I go out I try to get those 3 things taken care of. And sometimes I get additional tips, sometimes I don't. I would say the majority of the time you don't, but when you do, you know, you did a good job, and you definitely deserve it. I'll say that. You deserve all the tips that they're willing to give you. They're doing some more construction over here. Alright, 6:08. Alright, I'm gonna go find this house and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so we got that delivered. It was a whopping $3.25, but we are well on our way to our, I don't know if we are or not, to our 85 AR. So this was the deal today, is that we're collecting every order to go from 75 to 85, and I don't care how many days it takes us to get there. We're gonna collect them all. Whew, it's hot out there. So that was a whopping, I doubt there's even any tip with that. Oh, and I just clicked off of it. You know, I doubt there was. But that's all right. I got $3.25, and we are moving on. We're up to $34.80 plus an $8 tip already. So that puts us at $42 and a little bit over, maybe 4 hours and maybe 4 hours and 20 minutes. Maybe 4. I don't know what time I started. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna go back through town here, see what else we can get. I'm gonna finish, I don't know if I'm ever gonna finish all this food, because there's a lot of food in here. So we'll be back in a couple minutes. All right guys, we just got a $13.50 order. It was almost 8 miles to deliver it, but we will gladly take that, and hopefully it won't take an hour to deliver. And it's to a rare restaurant that I rarely get orders to. A little Mexican place over here next to Walmart in Benton called El Charro. I think I've eaten here once. I remember it to be pretty good. It's been I don't know, it's been a little while since I've been there. So, yeah. Wow, Why are all these people out on a Wednesday? My goodness, this is cray cray. All right, I'm gonna run and grab this food. We'll be right back. All right, guys, we have this order loaded up. They had it sitting at the counter waiting on me, so that was nice. We are headed that way. It says 7 miles, 12 minutes. It's way down in Haskell area, so yeah, we're gonna continue eating our hour and a half long dinner and keep working towards hitting this $100 tonight. So, all right, I will catch you on the other side of this delivery. All right, guys, that order just delivered from El Charro was $13.75. It was $3.75 base pay with a $10 tip. Much appreciation to those people. I'm turning around in their driveway, trying not to hit their car. Man, I bet their car is coming but stopping. So that puts us 7 out of 7 tonight. 2 hours and 44 minutes, and at $48.55. So, plus the $8 tip that we got in cash would have put us at $56.55. So we broke the $50 barrier by 7, which is good. So that means we're well on our way to hitting 100, because I got over 3 hours left to go. So that's doable, not guaranteed, but doable. Good night. I got all right. I got a lot of messages, just trying to clear them out. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so we're down here in Haskell World. There's one place about a mile or two that way that's Larry's Pizza that you'll get orders at, and then this Sonic right here, and then maybe at the freeway exit there's a Mexican place and a McDonald's inside of a convenience store. So that's about it. All right. So I was looking at the stock market earlier today, and it was doing really well. And then the news came out that Powell did not lower interest rates, and it tanked all of a sudden into, like, I was up, I don't know, let's see, I was up almost 1% on the day, and then all of a sudden that news came out and said he's not going to lower interest rates, he's going to leave them the same. And then, I don't know what other news came out, but some other good news must have come out. and the market shot all the way back up higher than what it was before. So it dropped into the negative from where it was, which was 1%, all the way down to negative 0.2. So if you had I'm trying to think of I don't know a good example of that, but yeah, anyway, I'm up 1.34 right now on the day, and obviously the market's closed, but nowadays they have 24-hour markets. So at least on Robinhood, I don't know that you can sell things on this 24-hour market. There's probably not as much volume, and therefore if yeah, I don't know the net positives or negatives of that, but you may or may not get what you think it's worth if you try to sell it overnight. But anyway, but I do like that it all came back and made more, so that's very positive for me anyway. Now my other accounts, they just went down, and they came back, but not near as much as they went down. So let's see what and part of both of them is I have a lot of diversification in the other accounts. In the retirement accounts that I have at Robinhood. Whew. So anyway, alrighty. So we're at $55. It's not quite 7 o'clock. I finished all my snack meals. I've been told that I have a cookie at home. I also have some ice cream left over from Sonic from last night. I'm probably more interested in that ice cream than I am the cookie, because I do like ice cream. So one thing I read today, or no, I saw it on a video somewhere, maybe on YouTube, maybe it was on Facebook, I don't know. Anyway, it popped up this doctor, who knows what you see on the internet, but he's talking about doing water fasting. And I'm like, and how it can help people kill cancer cells, clear up brain fog from dementia, and other things. And then I was like, so I did some of my own research, right? Alright, dude, let's get out of my way. I gotta get off at this exit here. And yeah, I was it's interesting to find out about that. So I'm gonna just do I'm gonna plug that in. We might get an order that'll cut it off, but just okay, Google, what are the pros and cons of doing a water fast for 24 to 72 hours?
A 24 to 72 hour water fast can offer potential benefits like promoting cell regeneration, autophagy, improving insulin sensitivity, lowering blood pressure, and aiding in short-term weight loss. However, it carries risks such as dehydration, electrolyte imbalances, muscle breakdown, and potential worsening of pre-existing health conditions. Longer fasts should be medically supervised.
Oh, Lord have mercy. So here's where my plan to not turn down orders is kicking my tail, because this is a $2.75 for 4.1 miles at Popeye's Chicken. DoorDash, you're killing me, Smalls. I just accepted it because we are on a goal. let's see if I can get over there to look at it. Home screen ratings. Has my acceptance moved up from 75 to 77. So however many orders I've delivered so far tonight, we've only knocked off 2 negative ARs. So we gotta get back up there to to 85. So I don't know that we'll make it tonight. That would probably, it just depends on where all those declines are in the system. And I've got 10, oh, I just missed the turn that I should have taken. So now I've got to go up this road. Either way, it's half a dozen six to the other, but I found that little shortcut the other night and it worked out quite well, and now I just missed it. Anyway, so maybe after I pick this food up, we'll talk about how AR is determined. For those of us that don't understand it or know why our AR isn't going up. So we can talk about that when I come back. We'll see in a minute. All right, guys. So here we go. We've just loaded up an order from Popeyes. I don't know how to get out of this parking lot. I guess it's just you need to go around. And then they said, okay now. So I'm pretty sure this order had been sitting there for a while, because Popeyes never has the order ready when you walk in, especially I was just right around the corner from it. So my guess is it was a $2 order and it bumped up to $2.75, which was 25 cents every time someone declined it. So anyway, so come on people, get out of the way. Anyway, so I got it. Now it's $2.75. So fingers crossed they give a cash tip. I really doubt there's a tip on here. There could be, but I doubt it. So anyway, we're going to head out to deliver this. It says 6 minutes, 2.8 miles away. It said it was some apartments, so I don't know if that's some apartments somehow over off of like Alcoa somehow. That seems like it'd be farther away, but maybe not. There's another little donut place that popped up over there. Just called Fresh Donuts. It looks like it's made out of, like they put up a metal building real quick and put a drive-through on it. I doubt that it even has any other access other than the drive-through. Oh, all right, dude, you can turn on red. Come on, go. I dare you. Either he's going straight but has his blinker on, or he doesn't know how to drive. He doesn't know how to drive. So yeah, it's all the way down on Alcoa. So it's one of my least favorite apartments, just because it's not well designed. The layout of these apartments is very weird. So anyway, we're gonna get it delivered. So before I went in to pick this up, I was gonna talk about something, and I have now totally whiffed on what it was gonna be about. So let's see what we can figure out. I don't know. I don't know what this could be about. Oh, AR. So a lot of people do not understand how AR works. That just like me, I've done like 6-8 different deliveries so far today, and I have not declined any, and yet my AR has only increased by 2. So AR is working on a concept of a rolling 100. So your last 100 offers only, and it keeps track of only the last 100. So if you say that this one you decline, then it adds a decline on there, but what did it knock off on the other end? Because it knocks that 100th order off, and that now becomes 101 is not counted, right? So on the back end, it's not counted. So order number 1, which is the one you just accepted or declined, it replaces one that falls off. Well, it depends on what the one that fell off as to whether you're going to go up or down. You could decline and stay the same percentage, or you can accept and stay the same percentage. But if you decline and it goes down, that means you're knocking an accepted order off the end of the other end. If you accept and it goes up, that means you knocked a decline off on the other end. So that's kind of how that works. So let's say I've accepted 7 orders today, and my AR has gone from 75 to 77. So that means that of the 7 orders I have accepted, I knocked 5 accepted orders off the other end, so they're kind of a wash, and I've knocked 2 declines off on the other end. So therefore I bumped up 2. So I have not declined anything, so therefore I can't go down, because a decline knocking off a decline, an accept knocking off an accept is a wash, so you'll stay at the same percentage. But only when you knock off a decline will your AR go up. So yeah, it may take a little while to get me back up to 85, because number one, if I'm at 77 or I'm at 75, that means out of the last 100 I've declined 25 offers. But I don't know where in the pecking order in that 100 that they are. They could all be more recent, you know? And so therefore, to get it back up, I would have to go through a bunch of accepted orders, knock them off before I get to some declined orders. All right, I'm at this apartment that I don't like, and I'm gonna do my best to find this, this order, and we will be right back. So, I was right. $2.75, 0 tip. And no one there to give me a cash tip. Disappointed, but it is what it is. Let's go double check the ratings. Still at 77. So my on time has jumped up to 85 though. Oh, I had my first Yum Yum order was late. Let's see what it says. Plus 1 minute and plus 3 minutes on the delivery. Well, that's cray cray. Oh well. Let's see. Oh, this is the first time I've looked in there. It says good on my deliveries. Heat warnings. Hey, look here. We have episode number 62 has come out on DoorDash. So I will get out there and try to share that to the Facebook page. So just if you guys didn't know, there is a Facebook page you could follow along as well. Let's see. And I may let that run for a little bit, but I don't have a lot of time here because I'm dashing. I don't even know what this order is. What does it say? Dashing through chaos. 100 goal on a wild Wednesday. Well, that's today. But this was the 2 weeks ago. Another wild Wednesday. And we will share that out on the Facebook page. See if we can't drive a little bit of traffic. I don't have very many followers on either the Facebook page or the YouTube channel, but you know, we're still getting out there trying to do stuff. I do share it to some other groups, so I get a little traffic from those. Alright. Yeah, so it's a little boring tonight. We're not getting any orders. So I'm fixing to okay. All right. So, yeah, I can sit here all night, evidently, and not be within range to get an order, evidently. So, I don't know how far I am. Maybe half a mile, 3/4 of a mile away from Chili's and B-Dubs and Whataburger and McAllister's and Moe's. There's even a Subway right there, and I've gotten an order one time at that Subway, but that was it. Oh, all right. Well, guys, $51.30 on Dash Pay and Dash Tips, and $8 cash. So we are up to $59.30 on a Wednesday. We need 41 more dollars. 41 more. Wow. getting tired though. I'm getting tired. I don't think my boosted drink is doing very good today. So, if you happen to look down in the description, there will be a Linktree link with all things DoorDash, or the Rambling Dasher, sorry, not DoorDash, but the Rambling Dasher. And you will find the Rambling Dasher store. And in that store, at Amazon, there's all the things that I use during dashing. Food, as in almonds, cashews, pistachios. Cliff Bars, of which I'm out right now because my kid has been eating everything under the sun. A little energy, I don't know what it's called, but it's a pump. You pump this juice or liquid energy booster into your drink, whatever drink that might be. There's also like the newer version of my mic and receiver here. I know it's hard to see, but it's this little thing. And the wireless phone charger that mounts to the air vent for my other phone. I absolutely love it, especially for door dashing, because it has a motorized clamp, so it clamps the phone in, and it has the wireless charging in the back, so you just have to set your phone in there, it clamps it in, and then when you're ready to go, you hit the button, it releases it, and you go. And in door dashing, you're in and out of your car so much, and you have to take your phone to take pictures, and you have to take your phone to go pick up the food and stuff. So yeah. The old way, especially if you do need to charge your phone, because if you're dashing for very long, your phone is going to drain. But anyway, so once you have one that you have to put the plug in down from the bottom, it might go through a little hole or go between two levers that the phone sits on. Trying to get it in there and plug it in and then unplug it, and just like it's a pain in the rear, and a lot of times that's what I like about the wireless ones, is because I always get crappy phone cords, right? And if you get a crappy phone cord, whether it's the one that came with the phone or an aftermarket one, then either the thing is going to get bent or something in the wiring, whatever, I don't know. But yeah, I always have trouble with those after a little while. So I like the wireless ones. So that wireless one is in there, and it wasn't very expensive. My water bottle is in it. The most expensive thing on the whole thing is this water bottle. It's called Lark, and L-A-R-Q. And what makes it so expensive is that it has a little button right on top here that allows a ultraviolet light to shine down inside that aluminum bottle that will kill all the bacteria. In addition to that, in here, if I don't have it in right now because I already have filtered water coming out of my refrigerator, but if you're going to go overseas and you say don't drink the water, you can drink the water with this, because it has the UV light that kills the bacteria, and it has a filter straw to clear out any particles, chlorine and other minerals and things like that in the water. So much safer, much safer to drink, and a lot less on the environment when it comes to disposable water bottles. So just from a garbage perspective, tons and tons and tons of those stupid bottles floating around everywhere. So So anyway, so check those links out down below. It also has a link to our t-shirt store. This was not one of them. This was I bought it in Canada at Eddie Bauer in Canada. It was like $4 or something, and I've been wearing it since 2018. So but we do have some cool shirts on there, some that my kids have designed. My son did a Taco Tuesday one that I wear all the time. My daughter has done a lot of them. Recently we just put a Be Kind shirt out there. But the beautiful thing about the shirts is you order it right there and it ships directly to your house. So we basically come up with the design and put it in the store with the different options on shirts. We mark it up to what we feel like is a comfortable price for that particular shirt. And we make a little bit of money off of it, and you get a good quality shirt. Dang it! Here's another non-tip order that I'm gonna accept, and I'm very unhappy about this. So it's at Sharks for $2.25, and I'm sure it's already been declined at least. Well, I would say the minimum is $2, so it's been declined once already. So we're gonna go deliver it and be nice to these people and hope that they will give us a cash tip, but have no expectations, because typically those $2 orders, I can tell you this from experience, you're most likely on a $2 no cash order, you're more likely to get a negative review than you are to get any kind of a cash tip. So yay for me for accepting this. Alright, I'm going to send them a message real quick. I'm going to say we've arrived at the store, and then I'm going to send this person, yeah, try to spell their name right. It's like, you know that their parents are non-conformist when they want to put a crazy spelling for their name that's just a normal name, but no, we got to spell it weird. So this is how easy it is to send the message and the meme. So I've sent a message, I've sent a meme, and we're good to go. And now I'm going to go into the store. So we'll catch you on the other side. Alright guys, so another non-tip one. I'm trying to do my best to get a tip out of these people, letting them know all kinds of craziness. So I had to wait 10 plus minutes for the order, and now I'm headed out to these people's house. This will be the last order for this show. So I don't know if it's just a little cloudy or what, but we're getting close to 8 o'clock, so we're going to shut this show down, and we'll start up an episode of Dashing in the Dark. So be sure to catch that in the next day or so. And unfortunately, we didn't hit $100 before we ended this one, so we will shoot for $100 in that episode of Dashing in the Dark. So you want to catch that to see if we get it. At this rate, I don't have any expectations because we're getting $2 orders. But we could. We're gonna try. We got over 2 hours left, so that's it's you know, time is on our side. Even if we have to go into overtime to get it, then we're gonna try. Now I also have a very, very, very bad step count today. So in addition to having to get $100 per day on my deliveries, I also have to get 10,000 steps before midnight. So I'm at 36, 37. That means 63 plus 37 equals 100. And it takes me about 1 minute per 100 steps, roughly. So 6,300 steps is 63 minutes. So I have to be home and out walking the dog before 11 o'clock. So there's that. All the joys. So this one, I didn't check it when we left, but it's still 2.2 miles, 4 more minutes. I don't know how far out this thing is. It's not that far out, but it's far enough. Whew. Anyway, I have no idea what we were talking about beforehand, but I do know we talked a little bit about AR tonight, so hopefully if you guys have any questions about how AR works and I did not sufficiently answer it, then maybe I can come up with a better answer at a later point. But it yeah, it's I hope that it makes sense the way I explain it, but maybe not. Trying to think of what else. I mean, we talked about finances, how we can start with $25 a week to get up to 300 plus thousand over 40 years, which will be better than 0 over 40 years, which is where I was over 30 plus years, but in the last 10 years I've been really, maybe not even 10, well, probably starting back 10 years, because it was I didn't have a 401k in 2015. How about that? And it's 2025 now. So now I have 401k, and for a few years there, when I had a double income, I was maxing out my 401k. So yeah, there's that. That was very beneficial to be able to add some money in over time. But once I lost that contract, I have not been able to. Well, I still fund my 401k, and that's part of why I DoorDash now, so that I can still put money in my 401k. Also, am going to figure out a way to maximize my Roth IRA every year as well, because now I'm not maximizing my 401k. I'm only putting in enough to get the match from the company. So I don't know if the company matches like 5 or 6%. So if they do, then I put in that much money. Oops, hang on. I almost missed my turn. Okay guys, I'm at this house. We're gonna come back afterwards and do a recap, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so that was $2.25. Oops, I didn't get to see, but I already know it was 0. But there's a kid answered the door and he handed me some cash, and then the lady was like, "Did my brother give you the tip?" And I was like, "Yes, he did. Thank you very much." So $6 tip on that order, so made it worthwhile. Much appreciated. So with that, I'm going to go back into the home screen, go back over to ratings just to see where we're at, top this day off with this video. Acceptance rate, we did, I think, 9 out of 9 today. 9 offers, 9 accepts, which only raised our acceptance rating up to 77 still. And we're fighting through to get to 85 without any decline. So boom. Completion rate 99, on time 85, 4.99, and 184 deliveries in the last 30 days. Our lifetime, that doesn't update until overnight. We're at 2854. So thank you guys for watching this video. I appreciate it, especially if you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and watch to the end. That just helps the more people find it in the algorithms. That if someone watches it for a very long time, then YouTube thinks, oh well, we need to share this with other people. So that would be great if you could do that. I would much appreciate it. Anyway, and if you guys have other ideas about questions I can answer regarding to DoorDash, I would be more than happy to do that. If there's anything anything about DoorDash, if you want to get started with DoorDash, then I can do chit chats while delivering on how to get started with DoorDash or anything else. Just leave me some comments, and I'd be happy to discuss any of those things. So anyway, appreciate you guys. Have a good night. We'll catch you tomorrow on another episode of Dashing in the Dark.